Okay, so you have filled in your hair and your skin tone, and then you want to duplicate yourself 3 more times by hitting Apple J. Go to the Move tool, click and center yourself on each square. I just clicked on a different layer. Then once you've done that, I'm going to take the eyes off of all of these layers, okay? Just so I can start seeing the background. We are now going to put pattern in each one of these backgrounds, okay? Can someone explain what pattern is to me?
It's like a bunch of shapes that make another picture. I don't know how to describe it. Never mind.
A repeating order of shapes and colors.
A repeating order of shapes and colors, okay? So what I'm looking for is something that repeats itself over and over again. So like either like A, B, or like A, B, C, A, B, C. Do you guys understand that? Like it could be a shape or something. Okay. So we're going to use our custom shape tool, okay? And we know how to use that because we learned how to use it in the rayographs, the digital rayographs. And I'm going to choose, let's say, this little flower right here. And again, if you can't see all of your pictures, you can go click on this little wheel and go down to all and hit OK, and all of them will show up. Yours should all be there because we just did it for the rayographs. But just in case yours doesn't look like that, that's how you get it to look like that. Then I'm going to click over here, and I am going to start to make my shape. So I'm clicking and dragging and deciding, okay, I want it to be about that size. Now, it's green, but the background of our background needs to be monochromatic, just like our clothes. So this should actually be a shade of red. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take that one away, choose up here, okay, right where it says fill, you click on that, and you can choose a red. Let me choose up here. Let's get in, choose over here too. I want to choose, you can either go lighter or darker. I'll go a little lighter. Right about there looks okay to me. Why is this not working? Okay, so what I had to do to get that lighter red is one of the colors that I wanted wasn't in these squares that they had. So if you click on this little color right here, you'll get the same color picker choice. Okay, and that will let you pick any color you want. Okay, so now I'm going to go and I'm going to make my shape. Then I think I'm going to pick a different shape to repeat. And I'm going to put this in between, maybe a little smaller. And then what over here, it's making its own shapes. Okay? It's making its own layers on each shape. Instead of keep making these over and over again, I'm just going to duplicate these layers. So I'm going to do Apple J to duplicate this one. And then I'm going to go on my Move tool and I'm going to move it over. Now, if I want it to line up perfectly, I can hold down the Shift. I want you to write that down. And if you can see it, I know it's a little hard to see on the screen, but there's like a purple kind of line, and that's showing you that it's staying within the right line of this. All right, now I'm going to duplicate this layer. Let's find it first. There it is. Apple J. I'm going to drag it over, and this is my pattern. I'm going to move these around a little bit because I don't like the way it's looking. So I'm going to push this one over a little bit. Then I'm going to move this one over a little bit. Okay, and then I'm putting the eye on and off to find out which layer I'm working on. And then I can move that over. And then I believe this is the right one. Yeah. And then I'm going to drag that over. Okay. Now, instead of recreating all of these layers, what I'm going to do is I'm going to push them all onto one layer. So I'm going to hold the shift, select them all, and then do Apple E. And then when I take the eye on and off, it creates one layer. Then Apple J to duplicate that layer. And then I'm going to move it over like this to start creating a pattern. But now I'm missing one over here. So I'm just going to Apple J that one again. And I'm going to drag this out to right here. I want your pattern to go off of your square. So then I'm just going to do, select these two and do Apple E to merge those together. Then Apple J. And then I'm going to drag this and move this one like so. Okay. Now I want them all to be on one layer. So again, going back to the shift and Apple E and pushing them all onto one layer. Now we need to get rid of this stuff on the edge. So what you can do is we're just going to select the red using the rectangular marquee tool. And then we're going to go up to, this is new, okay? So we know how to use the rectangular marquee tool. But we're going to go to select and we're going to go to inverse. And so when I did that, right here, the red square was selected. Now everything but the red square is selected. So all of this is selected, but not the red square. Then I'm just going to hit delete. And it's going to tell me, hey, you can't delete this right now because it's not an edible layer. So what we need to do is we're going to kind of do a workaround. We're going to go on to the eraser tool and we're going to click and it's going to ask us if we want to raster size it. And we're going to say yes. We're going to say okay. All right. So I tried to delete it, couldn't delete it, went to the eraser, clicked, and it said, do you want to raster size? I said yes. And then if I hit delete, it will delete. It's kind of a little funky workaround with the shapes. Okay. Now, Apple D to deselect. And I have my pattern. Now, you do not need to keep making your pattern over and over and over again. We're just going to duplicate it. So we're going to go Apple J. And I'm going to drag it over. And I'm going to put it over here. Now I have extra stuff over here, so I'm going to do the same thing. This time I'm just going to select going this way, and then I'm going to hit delete. It will delete now because I have raster sized this layer. And then I get a little bit coming out over here, so I can go like this, and I can hit delete on that one. But now these colors are not monochromatic anymore. On the screen that you're looking at, I know it like shows a little, it's like yellow, but it really is actually orange. So this is very, very key, and this is going to help you out in your final. So I really want you to write this down. When you're selecting something, we're going to select all of these in one little click. And the way to do that is you hold the apple down and you click inside this checkered square. You do not click over here. You do not click on the eye. You have to click inside the checkered square. And what will happen, you'll see like a little rectangular marquee tool with marching ants that will pop up. Once that pops up, you know it's okay to click. So we're going to click, and it's going to select them all. Then we're going to go to Edit, and we're going to go to Fill, and we're going to choose, you want to choose your color first. So I'm going to choose a lighter orange, hit OK, and then I'm going to go to Edit, and I'm going to go to Fill, and I'm going to say foreground color, and I'm going to say OK. And there it is. you can't really